Cora, be quiet, please.
It does say here that meeting is now streaming live on Facebook.
Perfect. Great.
That's the message that
All right. Excellent. So good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Spotlight on Business by GTApreneurs. I'm Tammy Defoe, founder, business coach, and public speaking instructor for GTApreneurs. I'm so happy today to have with us Alex Corrali. He is a water engineer, and he was a guest speaker at GTApreneurs October 27th online event. Pardon my kitty cat there. We're here to learn more about him and what he does. So welcome to the show, Alex. How are you doing today? I'm
good, Tammy. Thank you so much.
Very good. Yeah, I mentioned before, my cat does that when she's happy. This is working from home during COVID time, right? So yeah, it was a pleasure to have you as a guest speaker at the event. You gave us a lot of information there, right? And we want to learn more about you, like I said. So if you can, pardon me, everybody, Cora, stop that, please. Okay. Okay. So tell us more about yourself, Alex.
Well, I graduated water engineering in 1987, and then I was working at the EPA, and then later when I came to Toronto, I worked in construction, and then 6 years ago, I started doing what I'm doing now, and it's very rewarding. So that's the short version of the story.
Perfect. And how did you become a water engineer?
I wanted to study something that is going to somehow give me the opportunity to leave a legacy. And that sounded like something nice, because none of the projects are the same. We are all doing different types of, either we are designing a dam or a water treatment plant, or a navigable channel or a port, or a lock system like the well and canal. They're all different.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people too, they don't think about water, like all the implications of it, right? And all the different things you can do and how it's made up and stuff. And like, how could you go to university and get a master's degree in water engineering? Like, how much can you possibly need to know about water, right? You just drink it, you put it in the glass, and that's it, right? But it's a lot more detailed than that, isn't it?
Oh, it certainly is. And well, this is how we actually got introduced to this Japanese water technology. And a friend of ours kept telling us that she has a device that is making waters, and we should see. And I said, what can you possibly show me that I did not study in 5 years of university? So that's how it started.
Perfect. Good. So yeah, so let's learn more about what you're talking about here. That's what you offer. What's this machine all about? Can you show us some pictures?
Sure. Hold on. Let me just share the screen.
Okay, perfect. Now, do we put this big thing in our house? This thing that looks like a fridge and freezer in one?
No. This is how it started in Japan. The Japanese hospitals are using these ionization or electrolysis devices that are making 4 different types of medical grade waters that they are using in hospitals to treat various types of diseases. No, they are big, like fridges, so huge devices.
Well, it's just kind of like, I guess, how computers, they started out, they were like a whole room, like the size of a room, right? So I guess it's not too practical to have that in your house. But like, I mean, a lot of times, like the medical profession, like they always want to do medications, right? And I think sometimes medications are necessary, but like, what was their idea that like water could make a difference on people's health?
Well, this issue was studied several decades. It started in northern Pakistan, and then the report about the water and why people are not suffering from degenerative diseases there, ended up in Russia, and then later in Germany, and then later in Japan, and they perfected the technology. And they were actually looking to mimic nature. like to have a water that, you know, was originally on this planet, and this is how they ended up doing it.
Mm-hmm. And you know, I think there's a lot of misconceptions about water there. Like, I mean, some people like, oh, I drink tap water, that's fine. Some people like, no, I need a filtration system. Other people drink bottled water. Some people think that, okay, well, bottled water is really tap water. They're just putting it in to make you think to sell it, right? So, you know, there's actually a lot of you know, misinformation out there, right? People don't know. And I think a lot of people are trying to be healthier these days. You know, but is what they're buying right now, is what they're doing right now, is actually giving them the benefit that they want, right? So now, since we're not going to put this in our home, what does it actually look like, the home version?
Well, the company, this Japanese company called Enagic, they started making these home-used devices, and this is how it looks. Really, it's a very compact device. We take it with us everywhere we go, and it's in my carry-on all the time. And this is how it is installed. And that lady over there is Shirley Vanisky, really, who is a diabetes expert. And obviously, because she knows and she studied diabetes many, many years, she understands the importance of the right quality of water for, you know, wellness and our overall health.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, and you know what? With the size of it, like, I'm actually surprised how small it was. I'm thinking it's going to take up like half the counter, right? So that's actually pretty easy for people to keep in their house.
Yeah, it's the Japanese. You know, they perfected it. The purpose was to make sure that is it accessible to people. They don't have to line up anymore at hospitals, you know, with containers to take these waters home and, you know, help their loved ones with hydration and you know, all the other properties that these waters have.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so how does this machine work? And you know, like, what's the difference between this and say tap water?
Oh, that's a good question, and this was actually what blew me away when we were invited to that presentation. And I'm a big fan as a technical guy in comparative analysis and comparative studies. And uh, well, they basically compared the available waters, including tap, reverse osmosis, whatever, bottled, carbonated sports drinks, with this type of water. The technical term is electrolyzed reduced water. So this is how we can find scientific and medical studies about it. And it just blew my mind, because I had no idea that there is such a water that is capable of you know, antioxidize and alkalize the body. And actually, frankly, to me, the most mind-blowing property was the high percentage of cellular hydration, because I had no idea that tap water, for example, and everything else that we keep measuring, hydrates only less than 20% compared to this one.
Mm-hmm. And what do you mean exactly by hydrate? People just think I just drink lots of water, or even they think I drink coffee and tea all day long, I must be hydrated.
Well, unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. I guess we were misled when at least I was a kid. I was told that you are what you eat. And unfortunately, you are not what you eat. You are what your body can absorb. And since our body is 75% water, you know, it just makes sense to pay attention to what that water will do in your body and absorption of it, because everything is being transported by, you know, by the blood, all the nutrients, minerals, you know, nutrients to the cell. If we don't have a proper transportation system, our cells are not going to get the necessary nutrients. And, you know, it's just like in the financial world, you have to have money to make money. The same way, we have to provide the necessary energy source for our cells, to the mitochondria, to be able to generate the energy that we need.
Mm-hmm. So basically, it's similar. Like, I know that there's sometimes where you can drink lots of milk, but not everybody absorbs the protein or the calcium, right? The same,
Yeah.
right? Or the same idea, like there may be protein in plants, but you know, the body doesn't necessarily process that as well as it does some other types of protein. So Yeah, so can you just show us some more pictures in this here that we can see how yeah, because all these different types of water. So let's start with one of them here. This pH 7.0, what's that one all about?
Well, it has a setting, as you can see, it has a screen, touch screen on the device. And when we push the pH 7, that is basically only filtered. It's not electrolyzed, so it doesn't have electric charge. And it's normally for taking medication because they have, time release. So they don't really necessary because of the absorption and the speed of absorption. This water is getting to our cells very, very fast. And, for the time release medication, that's counterproductive.
So if you drink this with regular tap water, the medication doesn't get in your body as quickly?
No, regular tap water is allowing for these time release medications to be absorbed, in the time that they have been designed for.
Mm-hmm. So what would be the difference then between tap water and then this type of water?
The absorption. Tap waters and bottled waters and all the sports drinks and reverse osmosis waters and carbonated waters have an absorption of less than 20%. And this has been measured by, scientists from MIT and, top level medical people who study this issue. And with this water, electrolyzed reduced water, again, the reduced is critical here because of the size of the molecule clusters. As you know, the smallest blood vessel in our body is the capillary. Mm-hmm. And so to penetrate that diameter of a capillary, you need something that is of that same size. Okay. Because, it's just like, the chain link fence. You're trying to throw a baseball through it, it won't go. But when you try, I don't know, golf balls or pearls, it's pebbles, it's a lot faster. So that is the difference.
Okay. So basically the water molecules in the tap water are bigger than the ones with the 7.0?
It's not the water molecule itself, it's the molecule clusters, because as you know, the tap water has chlorine in it to disinfect, but that is very acidic. So the government is trying to provide us pH 7 neutral water, and they're putting lye in it, which is very, very alkaline. So at the end of the day, with these two chemicals and others for various pollutants to neutralize them, the molecules are like stuck together. So that's why their size is the molecule clusters is bigger.
Interesting. Yeah, I never know that actually. Yeah, so basically most people know that H2O is water, right? You have two hydrogen, two hydrogen, one oxygen molecule, right? And so so this 7.0, that's exactly what it has, two hydrogen, one oxygen. But then tap water.
Everything is H2O. What is different is the electric charge. So if you don't mind, I can show you how this actually works. Okay, sure. The device, it has a filter to take out, chlorine and odors and rust and taste, but then it goes in a chamber that has these medical grade, from Japan, medical grade titanium plates that are covered with platinum, because this device is working with electricity, and platinum is a very efficient conductor of electricity. Mm-hmm. The water is separated into two streams, and I guess everybody knows that the cathode is the electrode that is attracting the positively charged cations. So I don't want to get too technical in this, but the water is always coming out in two streams. So one hose is giving you the drinking water, which is electrolyzed reduced water, and the other hose, which is acidic, is discharged at the other hose. And to be even more technical, as you know, the human body needs bioavailable minerals, and you can see here that these are iron, sodium, calcium, magnesium, and potassium. These are essential because when we suffer with let's say calcium deficiency, there are all kinds of issues that are starting. So but the interesting part is, besides this type of separation, is the fact that in this electrolysis process, H2, hydrogen gas, is being generated. And this is very, very important because, as you know, hydrogen is the smallest element on the Mendeleev table. So if you compare it with other antioxidants like vitamin C or coenzyme or glutathione, the size of it is only 2, compared even to vitamin C, which is 176. So when this is transported to the cell, obviously it has to be first processed and then reduced, broken down, and then transported to the cell. With molecular hydrogen, this transportation is almost instant. So, if there is something that I really like to say, is that nutrient absorption or utilization is far more important than just nutrient consumption.
Right. Yeah, no, I understand that. Let's go back a few slides though, Alex. Yeah, so I mean, I just want to clarify, right? So basically the water in the tap water, the molecules are bigger because you got H2O plus, like the lye plus the chlorine, right? It's got extra stuff attached to it. Whereas the 7.0, it just has the H2O basically, right? They get rid of the chlorine and the other stuff they add to it. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, can you go back another slide for us? And 2 more slides, I think, backwards. Yeah, 1 more slide. So this is the one, so you said with medication, because medication, right, it's extra chemicals, right? It's extra, everything, all the hydrogen and all these different elements put together. Yeah, so if you're taking water, tap water, which already has chlorine and the lye or whatever else that's in there, and then the medication together, the molecules, like, it's even bigger. So I could see how that medication would be absorbed less, right? It would be less absorbed, where if you're getting rid of those all extra chemicals with the water itself, then with the medication, then it's the water is less saturated, then it would be able to be absorbed better.
Yeah, that's why when we are drinking the water from this device and we are pushing these 3 buttons, which is pH 8.5, 9, and 9.5, this is the water that our body needs because it has the 3 properties. It's antioxidant, it's alkaline, and it is capable of providing cellular hydration. And it's just a different type of water altogether.
Perfect. That's awesome. Okay, great. So now so then you've got this pH 8.5 to 9.5. You said that's good for drinking, cooking, food prep, and everything else. So what's the difference between that type and then the 7.0?
Well, the difference is that this water is only filtered. It doesn't have any electric charge, and the right electric charge that our body requires. And if you don't mind, I will show you the chart just to compare, because, the question is, okay, how do we get sick?
Yeah.
And there are 3 causes for that: oxidative stress, acidosis, and dehydration. And this is not not a secret. The medical establishment knows this very well, and the Japanese especially. So it just makes sense to put something in the body that is antioxidant, it's alkalizing, and it's providing hydration. And because we are talking about antioxidants, hydrogen, the hydrogen gas, what it means that it's antioxidant, it's basically neutralizing free radical damage, which means that it's actually capable of donating an electron. And this is we can eat fruit and vegetables the whole day, and we cannot get nowhere near the antioxidant value of 1 glass of this electrolyte reduced water. It's something that is just amazing. And this is the comparative chart. It is called the oxidation reduction potential, which means the potential to reduce oxidation of a liquid. As you can see, bottled waters and tap waters and sodas and sports drinks and carbonated waters are all having positive ORP. This is measurable in millivolts with this little device. So they're all causing sickness. And the reason that this is here is because, exotic fish die when the millivolt charge in the water is over 100 millivolt. And, what are we drinking? Look, I mean, this is something that I had no idea that this is how it works. So when you are under the weather or you're sick, your doctor will tell you, take vitamin C, fruits, vegetables, drink green tea, because this is antioxidizing the body. Now, those older than me know that we used to receive cod liver oils when we were kids from the grandparents, because that is a very, very powerful antioxidant. Now, how much cod liver oil can you take actually? And this is where the device is, this a Japanese medical device. So when it measures minus 400 millivolts compared to plus 400 millivolts from the tap, the difference is exponential. We always have to multiply with 6.9. So let's say a good quality green tea is minus 100 millivolts. Mm-hmm. When my device is giving you minus 400 or minus 500 or minus 600 millivolts, when I installed mine, it measured minus 724. That is equivalent to over 100,000 cups of green tea. Mm-hmm. How much can you drink a day?
That's true.
Right. So how are we actually helping our body? I think that's a good question for everybody.
Yeah, and that makes it makes a lot of sense, right? But it is pretty technical. So I just wanted to simplify it a little bit for people who don't have the chemistry background. So let's just pull back a few more slides, Alex.
Again to the device.
Yeah, let's go back to the first one again. And then so skincare. So why would the one for the skincare and gardening and all that, why would that be different than the one you drink? And
well, because the pH of the skin is between 4 and 6. And of course, the Japanese are using these with that purpose to treat, let's say, those typical skin diseases. And, because it says gardening here, plants like this type of water. Mm-hmm. And it is used in our household as, as a glass cleaner or jewelry shine, or, because it has those properties.
Mm-hmm. And so because like 4. Oh, okay, right. That is less than 7. Okay, that's good. And what about this strong acidic water? What's that all about?
Well, this is basically the so-called specialty water, pH 2.5, which is a very, very powerful disinfectant and sanitizer. They are actually disinfecting and sanitizing operating rooms in Japanese hospital with this. So they are not using those harsh chemicals. And in the same time, when you push this button, this is 2.5, the top hose is going to give you pH 11.5, which is very, very alkaline. And believe it or not, it is capable of emulsifying oil. And why this is important? Because we use it as a degreaser. We wash off pesticides from fruits and vegetables. As you know, pesticides are all oil-based because, they don't want the rain to wash off the pesticides, herbicides, insecticides, whatever they are spraying our produce with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, this is the thing, right? You can say that I know, right? But a lot of people, they don't know. They don't know. That's why I wanted you to come here today to explain this, right? Yeah, so then, because otherwise, like, you think the chemicals, like say you get grapes, and so disappointed, you say, oh, I want to eat grapes, but you can see the pesticides on them, right? It's like white coating, right? So to me, I would never think that, well, this is fat, basically. It's made of fat. To me, it's just some other chemical. I don't know. But you're saying that the pesticides are like made of fat?
Well, no, they are oil-based.
Okay.
Exactly with this purpose, so the rain is not going to wash them off, the produce, mm-hmm. When they're spraying fruits and vegetables. They are oil-based with a purpose.
Right. So not exactly fat, but fat is like oil, is very similar. So it's kind of got that mixture in it, right? And so now what about, I know if you go to the store and that, they have some sort of like a food cleaner that you use to wash the pesticides off. But you're saying with this type of water, you don't need to use those cleaners.
No, actually, I mean, since we have this device, we are saving a lot of money because we are not using any kind of chemical cleaner in our household at all. We are even doing the laundry with it. Not to mention that, you can degrease your oven with it. You can wash the engine of your car. And And the other thing which is really, really interesting, and my wife is really enjoying, actually, we all enjoy the stuff, that the food that is made from these fruits and vegetables, oh, and of course the meat, because we are washing everything. There are all kinds of things that are coming off that you would not be able to do with regular tap water or any kind of water for that matter, because as you know, tap water has the chlorine. So not only, what do? We take our fruits and vegetables, we put them in a bowl, we soak it in tap water. So what happens is not only that we are incapable of washing off the pesticides, but we are also adding chlorine to the mix. And as you know, chlorine is not designed for the human body.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Wow. So this is good. So basically people don't have to buy laundry detergent or degreaser for their stove or makeup remover, or food cleaner, and that they can just use this 11.5 pH water.
Yes, that's true. And the strong acidic, the pH 2.5 is amazing, for wound care, for, just disinfectant. For example, during these COVID times, we are not using those hand sanitizers because obviously they have not been designed to be used every half hour. So, this is something that is like hypochlorous acid. It is designed to kill bacteria and viruses. That's why they are being used in Japanese hospitals. And the story with our daughter, because she sings in the community, and sometimes she comes home from school with some kind of a throat issue. I mean, you can't really tell the consulate general that she cannot sing on Saturday because she came home with strep throat on Thursday. So there are protocols for this 2.5 and 11.5, how to use them and for what. And she just gargles and suck it up into the sinuses. So everything that doesn't belong there is being killed, within 15-20 seconds. So it's very, very powerful. Unfortunately, the Japanese are too far and they don't really speak English. So by the time it gets to us, it's a little bit too late. But
yeah, well, I mean, but this is really interesting you bring this up, because right now, especially with COVID going on, I mean, people are using hand sanitizer right and left, right? Which we want to be, killing stuff, but with this machine here, they don't have to buy hand sanitizer anymore?
Absolutely not.
Wow. Wow. So yeah, so I can see this a lot of money savings. So I mean, it takes care of, your hand sanitizer. It's a natural pesticide. So if you have a garden, right, and you want to protect it from insects that are going to bite stuff, you want to disinfect your house, you want to clean your food, you want to wash your clothes, stain remover. Wow. I mean, I just think of all the things I buy, right? I've got like Tide detergent. I've got like Shout It Out kind of thing, right? I use dish soap, honestly, to wash my fruits and vegetables. So probably not the best, but I'm like, well, guess pesticides off. I know it's probably got more chemicals, but yeah. So, I mean, skin and hair care. I mean, oh my gosh, I could save a lot actually just by getting this machine. And not only that, there's a guy actually that I met, and he started getting migraines all the time, right? And he's like, what's going on, right? Why am I getting these migraines, right? And he's like, he didn't want to take medication or anything like that. So like, okay, what is something I do every day that could be causing these migraines, right? Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, look, I drink coffee every day. So maybe I'm going to search out some organic coffee, right? And that's going to make me feel better. So he found organic coffee and actually made him feel a little bit better. But he's like, it's still bothering me. It's still not really that good. And that's when he looked into the different types of water. And then he got himself a water machine. No more migraines. Feels great. I mean, I'm like shocked how much water can make that, big of an impact.
Yes. The thing that really was, I don't know, mind-blowing to me, when they actually showed me this 2003 invention, two scientists got the Nobel Prize for it, for the so-called aquaporin effect. The membrane of every cell in our body is having these small, how should I say, little channels or tunnels through which the water is being, let into the cell. And of course, the detox is happening. Now, the electric charge of these aquaporin channels is positive. And as you could see from the chart, everything from the tap and from the bottle, they are all positively charged. So what's happening, positive and positive, they repel each other, right? So because of this, just basic physical or law of physics, our cells have no chance in hydrating or getting hydration properly. But because this water, as we showed, on the chart, we drink this 8.5 to 9.5 water, this is negatively charged. So they are being like sucked in automatically into the cell. And of course, because it has those 5 minerals that are making this electrolyzed reduced water alkaline, the detox effect is multiplied. So, when your cell is operating in a puddle environment, then obviously that's the result, and you cannot expect too much from it. But when it's operating in a very clear and electrically charged mountain lake environment, it's a totally different situation. So when our cells are happy, I think we have a better chance of better health and wellness.
That's awesome. Let me just quickly go to a couple slides and everything, right, to forward. Let me see the next one here. Okay, wait, let me hang it. No, go back a few more slides. Okay, go back another one. Yeah, so let's talk about here really quickly, and then we have to wrap it up soon. And just to explain to this, because like I said, people, we know we need calcium, magnesium, we know all these different things and stuff. And yeah, I guess the thing that I wanted to talk about was that what exactly does hydration mean? Because again, people just think you drink a lot of water or you drink a lot of whatever, it gets you hydrated. But on the cellular level, so we know that everything, if we take a microscope, right, like say our skin, for example, right, and then you can see it's made of little tiny cells, which can kind of like, it's not like exactly circles or squares, but kind of similar. And then each cell, it needs to live, right? So each cell needs to have certain nutrients going in, and then the waste products going out.
Yes, this is I have a slide for that, so we can be visual. And I guess because a lot of people are asking, like, okay, I can put I don't know, baking soda in the water and it will make it alkaline. And yeah, that's true, but baking soda is not something that is absorbable or bioavailable. And if you're focusing on the alkalinity only, you can put arsenic in the water, it will make it alkaline. Now the question is, are you going to drink it or not? Anyway, the difference here and what I'm trying to say is that high pH water in the stomach is automatically faster absorption. High pH with bioavailable minerals. So if you compare, regular waters, 15%, less than 20% absorption, electrolyzed reduced water over 95%. Just imagine that you are taking some kind of a supplement or vitamin. If you are drinking it with regular water, the absorption of that supplement is less than 20%. When you are drinking it with this, it's over 95%. So it's a totally different situation. And this is the aquaporin effect. As you can see, with positively charged water, there is repelling. And when it's negatively charged, then the water goes in. And because of the size, it's just something that, and the immediate, because I'm sure you have been to do this live blood cell analysis. Normally when our blood, is not hydrated properly with water that has electric charge, looks like this, in clustered rouleaus, very, very slow moving. And when you are drinking electrolyzed reduced water, because of the electric charge, the cells are separated. They are happy, moving fast.
It reminds me of oil in your car, right? After a while, like when you're using your engine and stuff like that, right? It's the oil changes, right? It starts out being this nice liquid that's smooth, and then it gets to be really gungy and stuff like that, right? And it just doesn't flow smoothly. So I guess it's kind of like, having this fresh water is kind of like cleaning out the pipes, basically, right? You're cleaning out the just like your engine's kind of like you're changing the oil, right?
It's detoxified, yeah. So when we have no toxins, then it's a lot easier, because our body is a Ferrari, right? If you can go like this, and we can put, yeah, we are smart enough to put the best fuel in it because it's a Ferrari. And so we are putting the best gas in. But if we never replace the oil, how long will that Ferrari last, right? And it's not just putting a quart of oil on top to have it at the level that is required. They are flushing it. They're flushing it and they're putting new. So, from this perspective, and this is something that really was totally new to me. And Dr. Jerry Tennant, who wrote the books pH and Voltage and Healing is Voltage, our body, or the cells in our body, are designed to operate at minus 22 millivolts. And for the body to heal, even if you cut your finger or whatnot, you need minus 50 millivolts. So the more the negative millivolt charge, the better for the body. And what is striking is that cancer cells turn on at plus 30 millivolt. I mean, the fact that a few years ago, 2-3 years ago, we saw Canadian Cancer Society forecast, like by 2025 or 2030, 1 in 2 Canadians will be diagnosed with some kind of a cancer. I mean, it's just silly that we are consuming waters that are, plus 200, 300, 400 millivolts.
Yeah. Well, this is awesome, Alex. And there's just so much information, right? A lot of information for people to absorb and stuff. So I think it's good for people that maybe want to learn more to book a one-on-one with you, right? Book a meeting and stuff. And because again, this is a whole topic and people didn't realize that there's so much involved with water. But I like this picture, actually. It really gives a good idea of how it works, where again, you think you're doing what's healthy and, but it's just not as healthy as you think it's going to be, right? So it's about, adding that one more step in, right? And having something where your body can absorb things properly. It can get rid of the waste, right? So that basically you said you got the cell, the things need to go in, things need to go out. But basically when you're having normal tap water, not as many things are getting in as not as many things are getting out. So you're building up that toxicity in each cell, right? And that toxicity in each cell is what increases your chance of cancer as well, right? It's just like, for example, right, you have, if your bowels aren't moving regularly, right, the toxins are staying in your body, increases your chance of colon cancer, right? So, right. So again, it's one of these things where we want to bring the nutrients in, but we have to get rid of the bad stuff. Just like I said, your car, you're burning fuel, you put out emission.
Yeah.
We need that proper fluid to get rid of that junk.
That's just commonsensical. And people are asking questions. I mean, I drove them nuts. They keep telling me that, oh, this is the guy, the water engineer who was asking us 66 questions, because I wanted to know. I mean, you can't just tell me these things. I need to see, and I need to, have the scientific and technical background. So they all provided this. I mean, this has been working in Japan for several decades, so it's not new. But of course, we did not know about it. But you know what? Pets, they don't need the demo. They don't need the knowledge. You put the bowl of tap water in front of them, the bowl with, Fiji, and the bowl with electrolyzed reduced water. Guess where the animal is going? And the same with plants. When we water them with, the right water, and, two plants, same size, same type, and you just do the comparative. It's right away. I mean, in Japan, they are using it in greenhouses, in golf courses. They are using it in animal farming. I mean, they have these award-winning, Kobe style beef farms. So hey, we don't know a lot, so I guess we just have to learn.
Well, that's interesting, right? And that's just good. It's good with the kind of global market we have today, right? Where we can share our knowledge across, the world and stuff like that together. And we all know the Japanese, they, really smart for we got a lot of smart people over here too, right? But we know that they kind of came out with all the electronics first and everything, right? And this is just another thing that they've come out with that we're happy to adopt over here. But, I think it's really interesting that you brought up about the pets, because you know what? Pets get sick too. Right?
Yes, and what I found out is that pets are getting the so-called human diseases, and I said, what the heck is that? So, we were talking with these vets who are actually encouraging the use of this electrolyzed reduced water for hydrating their pets, and they said, well, you know what's happening? We buy those harsh chemicals. We wash the floor because obviously after walking with the dog, or the cat goes outside, comes inside, and then the floor is dirty. So we are cleaning it with these chemical cleaners. And their paws are irritated, right? So what they will do, just to clean it, they're licking it, and then these chemicals are getting into their insides, and they start wreaking havoc. So, and there is nothing really anybody can do as a veterinarian. I'm really sorry for them, because they can't really help. I mean, people are spending a lot of money, but putting more chemicals inside of a pet is not going to really help the situation. So I guess prevention, again, here in this situation, is worth a lot of money. And the fact that you're saving $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a year by having a device like this in your household, it's nice, but that's just the immediate impact that you see, because, okay, my God, I have extra $3,000, $4,000. But the fact that your wellness level is in a different category, and the wellness of your pets is in a different situation, I guess it's very, very rewarding. And not to mention that, I mean, we are giving out a lot of waters to people who want to try it, because at the end of the day, their body will tell the story.
Yeah, that's awesome, right? And like, I think a lot of people don't think about the fact that their pets walk on the ground and they lick their paws and stuff, but it's the same idea, have you mentioned, with humans, where even if you feed your cats or dogs the premium food, they said, look, a lot of the good stuff is not being absorbed. It's not flushing out a lot of the junk. So there's just so many issues there, right? And you know what? They don't have OHIP for cats and dogs and other types of pets. They don't have it, right? If you get sick, at least you can go to the doctor. It doesn't cost you anything extra. Obviously, we pay through taxes, but it's nothing out of pocket at the time. But like pets, that's all out of pocket. And it is not cheap to go to the vet. It is not. So you know what? Like they say, prevention's the best medicine. So to have this for yourself, for your pets, everything else, these multiple different things you have, save yourself money. So I think it's amazing, Alex. I'm so happy you're here today, and we're able to do this education with people. Like I said, people should really do the one-on-one with you to learn more in that, right? And to see, what things they have going on, if this could help them with their lives. I think it can help everybody, honestly, but I think it's good to get that more detailed, and I'm sure you're happy to give the people that education along with the product.
Absolutely. Anytime. It will be my pleasure. And if they're asking questions, 10 or 50 questions, it's okay. I was the biggest skeptic in this area. So, they cannot really surprise me. And I'm looking forward to the questions.
That's awesome. Great. Well, thanks again, Alex, for coming on the show today. I'm very happy that you came on and you gave everybody the education. If you have any questions as well, please put them in the chat. I put Alex's website, his LinkedIn profile there as well. You can send him a message there. And if you're interested in learning more about GTApreneurs programs, my business is all about helping entrepreneurs like you grow your businesses. I'm very happy to help support Alex, especially too, like my philosophy is not just promoting people to make money. Like I want to actually promote people that are making a difference in the world, that something they have is something that's valuable that can help other people be happier and be healthier. And like you said too, it's about wellness, right? It's about feeling better, and this type of thing helps people feel better, live longer, your pets feel better, they're happy, you're happy, your kids are happier, right? I mean, all the way around.
It's change your water, change your life.
There you go. You got it right, Alex. Great. Okay. Well, you enjoy the rest of your day, and good day to everybody else. And we will see you again soon.
Thank you so much for having me.